Welcome to the BBC iPlayer for live coverage of the second test between Australia and Wales, live from the North Sydney Oval. The Wales team just coming out, led by Jazz Joyce, who celebrates her 50th cap today, debut way back in 2017 against Scotland, the St David's product. And I'm delighted to say I've been joined by the partner of Jazz Joyce, and of course better known as the Wales flanker, Elisa Joyce Butchers. Elisa, how are you looking forward to this today? And first question to you, is it about victory or performance, this?
Yeah, very much looking forward to today. I think the girls performed so well last week and definitely just looking to back it up again this weekend. For me, I think it's more about performance. It's a build-up to the World Cup. Players are going to want to put their hands up for selection for that World Cup squad, so more about performance, but another win wouldn't go amiss as well. 2 from 2 in Australia, yeah, you wouldn't say no to that. Australian side just coming out on the field as well. They're led by Emily Chancellor, the skipper last week as well. The weather conditions in the North Sydney area are pretty wet, to say the least. There's a bit of standing water on the surface, so it'll be interesting to see how the two teams, Alicia, cope with the conditions. Yeah, look, being Welsh, we're used to this type of weather, so I think it's definitely going to be more positive for us in terms of our set-piece game. I know we've been working hard on our driving mauls and our scrum game, so hopefully we can bring that in, and that can play a big part in today's game. But yeah, hopefully we can see some free-flowing rugby as well, but with the weather conditions, you'd like to think the set-piece will have a bigger impact on the game today. Both teams lined up then, as you can see, for the anthems, and we begin with Enwlad Vanada, Land of My Fathers. Supporters in good voice, not without support in the stadium here, Wales, as you can hear. And the girls looking very relaxed there, the Welsh team. And now we'll break for the Australian anthem, Advance Australia Fair. Australia Fair, concluding the anthems at the North Sydney Oval. Now, two much-changed teams from last week. Australia making 6 changes. Joe Yap, their coach, former England scrum half, including the return of Maya Stewart. Watch out for her pace on the wing, number 14, Maya Stewart. 10 of the 23 for Australia are from the Waratahs. Sean Lynn making 7 changes for Wales, including the return of co-captain Kate Williams, and of course the return to the starting 15 of Cecilia Tuipulotu, first time since September for her, and Jazz Joyce's 50th cap. There she is, the St David's product. They'll be delighted in Pembrokeshire to see her with her 50th Wales cap. A comment just before kick-off, Alicia, about the changes, particularly in the Welsh side.
Yeah, 7 changes to that Welsh starting team. A full front row change. I think the front row went really well last weekend. I think, as you mentioned, Sean Lynn has said from the beginning he wants to give everyone a go in this campaign and in the lead up to the World Cup. So for me, really interesting to see how that front row go, especially on a wet day today, like it is today with that scrum set piece. So yeah, very excited about it. The
other interesting thing, 2 co-captains, both in the back row. How's that going to work with the referee? He'll have one in each year, won't he?
Well, yeah, we'll see, exactly. Kate and Al both get the nod at co-captains this game. For me, that's really exciting. I think they're both great players, both great leaders. So we'll see how they get on with that with the ref today.
And Wales in their change kit of the white with the green shorts. Australia playing from left to right. Vitala Maleka with the crossfield kick. And it's going to be interesting to see how the ball behaves on this very wet surface, a bit of surface water. Kira Bevan, first look at Tuipulotu, and good yardage from her. A very experienced Kira Bevan at scrum half. The referee is Natasha Ganley, Kiwi. Both teams looking to keep the ball in the air early doors, obviously with the conditions. Well, setting it just inside their 10-metre line. Bevan. It's one of the Perth sisters, Gwenllian. Lisa Neumann on this left wing. It's the halfway line. Alex Callender almost getting through, the co-captain. Tidied up by Caris Cox. Starting this week, that's the 10-metre line. Good ball retention by Wales. Bethan Lewis, and there goes Jazz Joyce. Jazz Joyce making way up to the 22 of Australia. A little bit isolated, and I think Australia have burgled that one. Yes, they have.
That's such a shame there for me. You know, Jazz gets a break on the outside. Girls just need to work a little bit harder, get on her shoulder, be that support line, and if not, clear that ruck so they can retain the ball.
Hold God, hold here.
And I think it was on the full, yeah, taken back into the 22, so still a good attacking position for Wales. So Desiree Miller there, watch out for her as well on the left wing. Bags of pace in this Australian back division with Maya Stewart as well. But not a bad way to start your 50th cap there.
Not at all.
Time off, forget injury.
What do they get for a 50th cap? Do you get a special shirt, special cap, like the men would get?
Yeah, I think the jersey will be personalised, and then you'll get your 50th cap as well. And it's really special, you know, to have your first to your 50th. So a really special time for Jazz. As you can see here, Alex Callender's coming off with big blow for Wales, especially heading into that World Cup. Really hope it's nothing too serious for Al. I know that the Wales women's team will really need her in that team heading into that first test against Scotland.
Order off now, guys.
Yeah, there she is. She looks in a little bit of discomfort. Does Alex Callender. So Georgia Evans has come on, the Saracens back row. There we are, just having a look at that. 5-player line out for Wales. It's gone awry though. All new front row today, of course, with Gwenllian Pearce, Caris Phillips and Cecilia Tuapolotto. And there you can see the standing water on the surface. Australia keen to just kick downtown at the moment as Nell Metcalf, a little spill, but makes up for it, gets over the 10-metre line. Product of the Nant Connoy club. Did really well last week, of course, Nell Metcalf with those 2 tries. Lisa Neumann takes it over the halfway. Bevan.
Out of it, gold! Use it!
Bevan deciding the best route is aerial, a little bit vertical that though.
Alright, play on.
Lisa Neumann did well to get possession back and make it to the 10-metre line. Tuapolotto.
Ball is there.
Pearce showing the scrum half skills. That's a bit quicker now for Kira Bevan. Wales just to go through the phases, but making some ground. Big tackle by Bridie O'Gorman for Australia. Bevan uses the blind. Bethan Lewis.
Yeah, rolling 2.
8 phases now for Wales, and little dig through in the end by Powell. Wales will get the penalty though. Playing advantage.
For me, Wales have really capped the ball well there. They're still playing the ball and not kicking it away too early, which is really nice to see in the weather conditions that there are. So for me, Kira Bevan's really managed the game really well there.
2.
Kaylee Powell began her rugby at Llantrisson Rugby Club. Played cricket, football, both for Michael Morgan at age grade. There she is, Kaylee Powell, 26, Harlequins. A good chance for Wales now. They can get a catch and drive going. Cecilia Slope is at the back. Bethan Lewis taking it. Now can Wales get a bit of a drive going? Caris Phillips is in steerage class at the back. And Wales have got a bit of momentum going here, and Kira Bevan knows it and is quite content to let the forwards rumble on. Now Bevan has it, little show and go to Courtney Keat. Quick ball will be handy for Wales. Caris Cox, there's the posts of Australia. Abby Fleming can use the forwards for a few drives, you'd think. Gwenllian Pearce. A couple more metres will do it for Wales, but they'll have to be careful they don't get held up. Bevan with a little snipe, keeping the back row of Australia honest.
Advantage offside.
Wales with an advantage as well, so they can really go for it here.
Advantage.
We will get a
2 pillars offside.
penalty.
Hands in front of the line.
Take the points.
It's nice and early in the game. I'd go to the corner. That driving maul looked really good there, so let's have another crack at that and see if we can get 7.
I think they're going for a quick tap. Now, Nell Metcalf scored both her tries from a similar position last week, moving it to the right-hand side. Here's Tuapolotto using a fellow prop, Gwenllian Pearce. Goodbye, Wales.
I got nothing in this.
Bevan. Georgia Evans. Australia doing well to keep that out. Kaylee Powell. Bevan again. Pearce once more over the line. Can she get it down? Gwenllian Pearce. Just held up.
Held up, goal line drop out.
She may be a little bit disappointed there, Gwenllian Pearce, that she wasn't able to ground that.
As you can see here, Gwenny gets the ball in a nice low body position. I think she just needs to dip as she drives into that contact. Look, Wales will be really disappointed they didn't come away with any points in this phase of play, but like I said, it's still really early in the game, and we'll get the ball back now on this goal line dropout and hopefully stay in there 22.
Wales having the best of territory and possession in this opening 10 minutes, and they can still plant their flag in the 22 again now.
Backwards.
Courtney Keat,
No, backwards
Caris
in the
Phillips,
circle.
all the front row prominence so far for Wales.
No, play on.
Bevan, Beth and Lewis. Wales keeping up the pressure. Gwenllian and Peirce.
Go,
Wales
go.
suddenly taking it to
No.
Australia
Stay up. Yeah.
at forward. And
Counteract
another penalty
fine,
for
you need
Wales
to
and
stay
probably
on
a
your
chance
feet.
to get a 5-metre line
Stay
out
up.
and try that drive again.
Forwards off their feet, penalty to Wales.
And it is a pretty decent line out, pretty much a point-blank
Go off the
5-metre
mark. Go on the line.
line out.
On the line. 5 on the line. Yeah. That's the middle there. They'll come in.
Right, let's see what Wales can do with this. Fullish line out.
Advantage, knock on.
Knock on from Australia, so Wales will get a scrum here.
Wales will be quite disappointed with that line out. I think, you know, when we get opportunities in that zone there, we really need to take that ball clean in the air. Australia are clearly competing 5 metres out, so yeah, something the line out callers might need to adjust and think about a little bit more. But yeah, Wales will be quite disappointed with that.
The shoulders, stay up. Stay up or up.
They will get the scrum though. 22 days time, Wales will open their World Cup account against Scotland in Salford, followed by Canada in Salford, and then Fiji in Exeter. Now we got we'll be seeing a couple of Nell Metcalf specials
Fine.
from this scrum.
Sit.
And Wales getting a real big drive, and the front row of Australia getting their wings there, but referee says illegally. And there's Bridie O'Gorman, the tight head, motorbike enthusiast. Bridie collapsing the scrum against Wales. I know you're not a front rower, but
I think Bridie was just as shocked by that decision as I am, to be honest with you. I think Gwenny P gets herself into a really positive position here. She's clearly off the ground, as you said, and no scrum specialist, but if the touch judge should be coming in there and, you know, seeing that picture.
it certainly wasn't for collapsing, was it? It might have been for not driving straight.
They're going to come in.
But I think Wales consider themselves unlucky there. Australia with the first big drive. Tabua Tuinakavadra, try scorer last week of Fijian heritage. The Brumbies number 8. Wales slowing the Australian ball down, although they do have a penalty advantage coming. Charge down on Maleka's kick, but we will come back.
Thank you.
But
Number
opening
2.
10 minutes or so,
Wales way to
Alicia,
break down.
plenty to be positive about for Wales.
100%. I think we've played most of the rugby in their half, and what's really positive to see for me is that the girls are still moving the ball in and around the contact in the wet conditions, and they had 98% pass accuracy last week, and I think that's definitely given them confidence heading into this weekend that they can continue to move Australia around a little bit.
White
So
on the line.
I think this is going to be a very exciting test for the remaining minutes.
Caitlin House with the touch finder, the 18-year-old. The youngest Wallaroo of all time, made a debut against the USA at just 17, the fullback. Now Australia with a bit of a drive on. Catalina Damosa steering them all at the back, the hooker. Now Samantha Wood. It's the Wales 10-metre line. Better possession for Australia as Maleka tries to take an outside line. The first real test of Wales' defensive mettle here. Good tackle by Tuipulotu.
Yeah, I'm just using it in tennis.
Almost a break by Pomer, the centre, Trilene Pomer. And Australia just starting to put a few phases together now.
Say it again, Maggie. Play on, play on.
Caris Cox in with a
Back here.
smother tackle. That's the Wales 22 now in the background. Knock on by O'Gorman. Now what can Wales do here? Can they transition into attack? Good hands. Kira Bevan just couldn't get the final pass away. And the advantage is over by the look of it. And Australia taking advantage of that Wales spill.
White offside. Any white offside. Thank you, outside. Outside. Come. Yeah.
Penalty coming to Australia by the look of the referee signal.
Basically in line with the referee.
Brady O'Gorman. Tuanaka Vadra. A lot of the play will go through the number 8.
So got the advantage.
Barnes-Wallace pass picked up by Moleka for Australia. Once again, Caris Cox with that smother tackle, stopping the Wallaroos in their tracks, but they've still got it, the Aussies.
Down the penalty.
Moser, the hooker again.
That's off the feet. We're going back for the offside.
A long advantage being played.
In line with Jess.
Wales will just want to be careful in this area. They gave away 11 penalties last week, which is much better in terms of discipline compared to the Six Nations. On average, it was 18 back in the Six Nations. So I know they gave away 11 last weekend, but it's definitely an area they're going to want to continue to work on. So just being really clean in this area, and any ball they get, I think just sending it straight back down the park and making Australia play back out of their half rather than trying to force things in the wrong areas of the field.
Okay, thank you.
So good chance to have a look at the Welsh defensive line. What have you made of it so far, the Wales defence?
Last week I thought our defence is the best it's been for a while, to be honest with you, and I think Wales will look to continue that. We've got some really strong defenders in that Wales team. Bringing Kate Williams in, I think she's a great defender. We've lost Alex Callender, but bringing Georgia Evans on again, another great defender in that Welsh back row. Gwenllian Purse back in the Six Nations, one of the standout performers for Wales, and I think she's going to be looking to continue that form heading into that World Cup. So far defence has been good. If we can keep them out in this area now, then we're going to be looking in a good position.
One of the other things last week about the Wales side, Alicia, was that they looked a lot fitter. Any insights into that?
Yeah, 100%. Sean Lynn's been working the Welsh team extremely hard over the pre-season. We've had Ben Flowers in as the contact coach, and
such a Welsh welcome here in the rain.
He's been brilliant.
I'm actually thinking how the conditions would affect both teams. It's certainly nothing the Welsh won't be used to. Australia coming into this obviously looking for a performance. I thought the rain might impact handling, could end up being a bit of a grind out, but gosh, they should give them a bit of confidence. I'll throw back to you and catch up with you in a few minutes.
That's our own Lauren Jenkins doing pitch side today. Australian penalty advantage coming as Wales stop the Aussie drive in its tracks, but they still got it back. Good tackle by Lisa Neumann, but it's all hands in defence for Wales at the moment. Bridie O'Gorman, that's the Wales post in the background. Options left and right. Caitlin House, lovely cut-out pass, and this is going to be the first try for Australia, and it goes to the wing, Maya Stewart, back in the side, and she didn't need to show any pace at all there. Lovely cut-out pass, put it in, and Australia, against the run of the play, it must be said, draw first blood.
Yeah, as you can see here, you expect Australia to keep working on the corner. They bounce back and catch Wales sleeping on that blind side there. Maya Stewart, she's amazing for Australia, she always is, and she gets a clean run in there. Probably won't score an easier try.
Yeah, delightful pass by Caitlin Hulse. And nothing really the Wales defence could do once that pass had gone to hand.
Yeah, in the middle or tight to the pillars, or both. Sort of everyone, but...
Good to see her back though, Maya Stewart. And a terrific kick conversion. Australia lead Wales by 7 points to 0. 15 minutes gone.
It's just great hands here, I think. They get the ball cleanly, they move it across the park cleanly, and in the weather conditions like we've got, I think it's great to see, and they're still playing expansive rugby in such conditions.
So furious. They had a chance to clear it, ended up in trouble. I guess there's the usual balance between that, having that attacking ambition, sometimes just better to clear it. But the crowd have come alive. Plenty Welsh here, I've got to say. Red Dragons, I've even spotted a couple of daffodil hats. But no, it's the Warriors who are up celebrating that way. I've noticed that up until that point, they've made 60 tackles in the first 12 minutes. Sometimes that can have an effect on the team, so they'll be desperate to play in the right areas from here on out.
It's Lauren Jenkins again on the sidelines, also covering the Lions tour, so she'll be busy tomorrow. The final test. Jack Morgan on the bench again for Wales.
Yeah, you can certainly feel it. I always feel like, they withheld some powerful carries early on.
So almost the first quarter gone. And Wales finding themselves 7 points down. I suppose you're looking now for a reaction from the Welsh girls.
Yeah, 100%. Wales went 7 points down last weekend as well, so used to being in this position, and I'm excited to see how the scrum goes and how the ref sees this scrum with the front row now.
A big drive last time. That's another good scrum by Wales. Georgia Evans tidying that up for Wales. Gwendoline Pearce again, she's had a terrific opening quarter. The loose head. To a Pelotto. Kaylee Powell. Advantage to Australia from the spill. There's the possession stats, 55 to Wales, 45 Australia. Jazz Joyce, over halfway, what's she spotted? Nice little show and go there. Metcalf, 2 tries last week. Joyce playing 9. 10 metre of Australia there.
Stay down. Advantage, 7 offside.
Advantage coming to Wales as Pearce drives in again.
Yeah. Yep. 7 offside.
Warriors offside, penalty away.
Sorry, I thought you said do we have it? Sorry. Can we have it?
Over the 20-minute mark we go. Kelly Powell, useful touch finder.
No one came with me. Say it again. The 9 at the rock had picked the ball up.
Now, forward Caris Phillips
That one was a play on.
finds the jumper.
No, it was 7 offside, not you.
See if Wales can get that drive going again.
Gold over. White, come in on the line. Gold over at the front.
What are the attacking options for Wales from this, Alicia?
I think they just need to win clean ball here, as they've just done there now. During pre-season, I know Wales' line-out sessions have been going extremely well, and Caris has been a main part of that, so she'll be pleased with that one, just to get the set piece up and running and gain a little bit of confidence heading into the second 20 of the first half now.
Within the 22. It's about, can they put points on the board while they're there now with Wales? They've been here before. Phillips with a nice little offload. Bevan. Gwen Crabb that time taking it up. Options left and right for Kira Bevan. A little bit slow though, and indeed just a little nudge forward from the scrum half. And she'd be a bit annoyed with herself for that one.
Yeah, she will be a little bit disappointed with that. I think she's had a great start to the game. She was outstanding last weekend as well. So, you know, it's out of character for Kira, but you know, she's a very experienced player. She won't let that bog her down for the rest of the game. Now she'll pick herself back up and lead from the front like she always does.
Always looks a chirpy character. What's she like in camp, Kira?
Extremely chirpy, Kira. She might be small, but she's not with her mouth. No, she's a lovely girl, and she manages our game really well for Wales. And you know, you've seen over the last few seasons how she's come into her own and really taken a leadership role on within the squad. So I'm excited to see how she goes this game, but heading into the World Cup as well.
Some of you may remember her dad, who played as a fullback with Swansea, Llanelli and Aberavon back in the 80s. Richard, he goes everywhere with her as well, Richard. I expect he's out there now.
I think he's down in the Bont at the moment.
Oh, is he? He hasn't gone?
At the moment. Yeah, no, he hasn't gone to this one. I think he's getting himself ready for that World Cup and being top supporter for the Wales women out in, well, down in England, in Manchester for that first game.
Keeping his beer money dry, obviously. Well, if you're watching this, Richard, I hope you're enjoying how Kira's played so far. Excellent goal kicking last week as well, 3 from 3.
Kira is a fantastic goal kicker. She works extremely hard on it, and for her to get that nod for Wales to goal kick, I know she loves that, and she takes it with a sense of pride as well. So she works really hard on it, and you can see that in her accuracy from last weekend.
And a good funny one at the front from Caris Phillips, who carries on the movement as well. Hear from Alicia if that's off the training paddock or whether that was just opportunism.
That's a great call from Beth Lewis there, knowing that the line-out's not going as well as we would like, just taking that funny option, keeping Australia guessing at the front, then giving that ball back to Caris to try and get over as much gain as possible.
Tuipulotu to Kaylee Powell, who makes it up to the 5-metre mark. Bevan again. Quick ball is what Wales want here. Bevan, Gwenllian Purse. Beth and Lewis. This looks likely for Wales. That's really quick ball. Beautiful for Caris Cox. They want to get held up. They've been held up once, Wales.
Yeah, there's no advantage there. We're going back for the not
But they have got the penalty.
You got the mark next? Yeah, just so, yeah. Number 3. Yeah. Number 3.
Bridie O'Gorman, the guilty party.
Right. Oh, sorry.
And it is a dead 5-metre line out for Wales.
All Blues fans, let's make it now. Let's hear it.
You know these calls. What's going on here?
Oh gosh, I wish I did know. I think what Beth will be looking at here is just taking the ball cleanly, getting bodies around the ball early in that maul position, and Kate driving a nice. That's not what they would have looked for there now.
It's called the commentator's curse.
It is, unfortunately, yeah.
Alicia.
Yeah, look, the lineouts haven't been going as well as Wales would have liked, but you know, in these conditions, it's extremely hard, and Australia are putting a lot of pressure on that ball. So let's see how they problem solve and try and clear up that area of the game.
Well, they've still got field position, have Wales, trailing 7-0. A Maya Stewart try
On the line.
with a conversion by House, the difference.
Over.
Bit of synchronised swimming going on, but it's better for Wales, and Gwen Crabb takes that, and Wales come away with it in the form of Courtney Keat, driving hard into the midfield.
Release, go.
Abby Fleming as well involved. Purse, I'd like to see her yardage gained. She's been very prominent in this opening 25 minutes or so. Metcalf. Well, Jazz Joyce did brilliantly there and got the pass in as well to Courtney Keat. Keat just hauled down. Lovely hands, flypaper hands by the Wales backs. Tuipulotu. Bevan Georgia Evans. Powell. Metcalf. Wales deserve something for this territory and possession they've been exerting. Jazz Joyce goes on her own. Can she get the ball down? Referee has awarded the try. Jazz Joyce on her 50th cap saw the line, pinned her ears back, and another try for the treble Olympian. Jazz Joyce gets Wales on the board.
What a moment for Jazz on her 50th here. She does really well at the start of the play, draws the winger in and then releases Courtney Keith. But what for me here is the clean out on those two runners, and then she just gets the ball in a bit of space. If she doesn't finish this, Courtney's definitely in her year here, but she's lucky she's finished it. And yeah, what a moment for her. 50th cap and a try for Wales. Australia away, you can't beat her.
They'll be loving that in St David's in Pembrokeshire and in Gloucester Hartbury as well.
She's a try.
Here's Ciara Bevan.
Thank you.
Just off the post. So 7-5. But Wales, Alicia, getting the points reward that being in the 22 for that length of time deserved.
Yeah, 100%. They definitely deserve some points on the board. They've been playing some great rugby so far. And for me, it's really great to see the backs come into their own a little bit, moving that ball into the wide channels and not just relying on the tight, big carriers like Gwenny P, Cecilia Tupelotu, but getting Courtney Keith on the ball, Karis Cox moving the ball. And, you know, it's just great to see our backs being released a little bit more under Sean Lynn. So, yeah, it's really exciting.
Is that something as well, this more open style of play, expansive style of play, is that something that the team are happy with, want to play that way?
Who doesn't want to play that way? We love seeing the ball being played, and a lot of the girls playing the PWR will play the same expansive style of rugby, and for Sean Lynn bringing that in, I think it's been so exciting. The girls are really excited to play his game plan and the way he wants to play, and you're seeing glimpses of it in the last two tests here for Wales, and I think it's just a start for us in terms of the way we want to attack, and you know, the girls have been amazing.
Now Metcalf's kick charged down.
Nell will be disappointed with that. She offers something different with that left boot. She's a young player. She's still learning her craft there in that fullback shirt, but she will be disappointed with that. But now's the time to make those types of mistakes.
Yeah, Nell Metcalf made her debut at Colwyn Bay in front of her home fans against the USA, just 18. 2 tries last week, of course, Metcalf. Coming up to the half-an-hour mark. It's a 2-point game. Samantha Wood, one of 2 new halfbacks with Fayetala Malacca for Australia this week. Good steady scrum for the Wallaroos, taken up by Malacca, the fly half. Wales 22. Good yardage gain by the Wallaroos forwards, and nice and quick for Samantha Wood again. More momentum for the Wallaroos is Gwen Pearce. Gwendoline Pearce over the ball there. No, she's told to leave it, and a penalty coming. And away goes Samantha Wood for Australia. Good yardage gain by the scrum half. Bridie O'Gorman lurking with intent as well at the back of that ruck. Test of Wales's defensive mettle here. Malacca, show and go, and over she goes, the fly half. Second try for Australia. But it was always going to be difficult for Wales with the quick release of that ball. And Fayetala Malacca of the Brumbies extends Australia's lead.
Again, she takes the ball to the line really well here, and you know, Kaylee pushes off a little bit too early there and gives Ciara a little bit too much to do. I just think Wales need to stay a little bit squarer there, come off the line hard and try and protect their try line a little bit better. It's all learnings for Wales, and you know, I'm sure they'll clear things up at half-time and under the posts now to try and sort that defensive picture out a little bit.
Yeah, Fatala Maleka, very talented musician as well in her spare time, she is. Debuted in 2023, just 18, one of a number of youngsters in the Wallabies 23, and over that goes from House. So 14-5 Australia lead.
It does, although it's not dampening the spirit and the fervour in the crowd. Plenty of passion coming from both sets of fans for this one. But yeah, interesting. I think, you know, the Wallaroos have they've not really had a match yet this year with the decent efficiency of turning scoring chances to tries. Last week, 12 entries, 12 points scored, one of their lowest rates. So they're rectifying that, no doubt, here this evening.
Wood back to House. Another Australian penalty.
Offside, 14. 13.
That's a couple of offside penalties for Wales now, and I think Sean Lynn will definitely not be pleased with that. I know in the week he spoke about offside being one of the main things they're going to focus on in terms of discipline, so they'll definitely be thinking about how they're going to take a couple of steps off that line to try and sort their discipline out in that area a little bit.
Caitlin House with a lovely dink down the line. No yardage lost on that one at all. That's an excellent kick by the Wallaroos fullback. How do you think the co-captaincy has gone so far for Wales, both in the back row?
I thought Alex led really well last weekend, and there's a lot of leaders in the squad. You've obviously got Hannah Dalavali, former captain, that, you know, really leads from the front. Karis Phillips, former captain in that pack, really leading that front row as well. And I think Kate's doing a great job today as well. I think Kate leads more by action than words, and I think you definitely need leaders like that in the squad. You know, I'm excited to see how she, you know, comes into this role and really makes it her own, especially with Alex off the field at the moment as well. So it'll be good learning for her.
Yeah, hopefully Alex Callender is, as it's a friendly, warm-up game, maybe precautionary, although she looked in a little bit of discomfort. So Kate Williams will be the sole captain now, but with a bit of help from the aforementioned that you just said. Wales' scrum has been pretty good so far, pretty solid. The line-out has malfunctioned on a couple of occasions, but the scrum has been pretty good.
There's both sides down.
Where does that front row stand? Is that Wales' first choice front row, do you reckon, going into the World Cup?
I think Sean Lynn is really open to people playing who are on form and playing well for Wales at that time. So I think this game is an opportunity for that front row to put their hand up for that selection for that first game in the World Cup. But the front row went really well last weekend. I know Maisie Davis has had an outstanding pre-season. She's really come into her own. And Donna was exceptional last week, especially in the loose. So it's going to be really interesting to see that selection for that first game of the World Cup. And if the girls continue to play well today, he's going to have a headache for Sean.
Georgia Evans picking up at the back. And holding on, though, and conceding a penalty. And with 4 minutes to go, 3.5 minutes to go to half-time, 4.5 minutes to go to half-time, Wales won't want to concede here and let Australia get out of sight. And interesting that Samantha Wood is going to kick for goal.
What's that? No, on the mark.
Haven't seen the penalty count as yet, but a little bit of a worry for Wales. They seem to be conceding a few in this first half.
Yeah, they do, and they'll be disappointing because last week their attacking breakdown was really good, and I think it's an area they really dominated Australia in. As I said, last week 11 penalties conceded. they'll definitely be looking to keep that, you know, a single figures, anything under 10. And it's probably going to be a topic of conversation at half-time here now, just trying to keep that penalty count as low as they possibly can heading into that second half.
Samantha Wood, who converted both tries by Maya Stewart and Atala Maleka. A rather tame effort, that one. So Wales get a let off. Lead remains at 9 points.
Behind here.
Navadra making some hard yards for the Wallaroos. Bridie O'Gorman. Australia just started to turn the screw in the last 10 minutes or so. Wood. And let's find a back row barn down there. Samantha Wood into the Wales 22 goes the scrum half. Taken up by Pohiva, the loose head. Wood again out to the cat flap. Into Pomer, the centre. Wallaroos looking more and more likely now. Pohiva again. That's Piper Duck, the blindsider. Lots of options for Australia. And it's the speed of the recycling that's catching Wales at the moment. One or two more drives might well do it for the Wallaroos here. Just a knock-on fortuitous for Wales, that. The Wallaroos really starting to hit their straps now.
Samantha Wood was a real live wire on that breakdown then. Really challenging and testing that Wales A-B defender. Physicality and, you know, ball-carrying strength from Australia. Just unlucky there with that knock-on, but Wales would be extremely happy to get the rub of the grass there and hopefully get a good scrum here and get a good clearance kick in.
Yeah, Samantha Wood came off the bench last week. Australia preferred Lane Morgan to start. Western Force player Samantha Wood, only 21. Another of the youngsters in the Wallaroos 23, winning her 7th cap. Looking at that Wales bench, obviously there's Maisie Davis, quite young, 19. Catherine Richards on the young side, and Meg Davis on the young side.
A lot of talent coming through in that on the Welsh pathway. The full front row replacements are Brython Thunder players, so it shows that Celtic Challenge is really bringing those players through. Kath Richards, outstanding, fast, really physical. Be good to see her get a couple of minutes today, and hopefully she can take the opportunity with both hands.
You might know her brother as well. David Richards plays for Newport in the Super Rugby Cymru. Just re-signed for the Dragons as well, David Richards, and he's no slouch as well, so it must run in the family. So it'll be interesting to see how the bench is used by Sean Lynn in the second half. Meanwhile, Wales have got to defend this scrum. Australia going for the 8-man drive, but Georgia Evans does well to pick up. Still a minute to hold out, so they won't want to put it off the island just yet, Wales. They want to run that clock down a bit if they can. Gwenllian Pearce with an umpteenth carry in this first half. And a penalty conceded. Australia just getting the whip hand at the breakdowns in these last 15 minutes. Samantha Wood, she's been at the heart of everything.
Good carry here from Gwenny P. Falls out. I think her ball placement, if she places it the other way, there'll be less chance of that clear out and that jackal threat. But Wales really need to stay on there, not heads up looking at the ref, try and stay down, stay in that strong position so they don't get counter-rucked off the ball in that area of the field.
clock has gone red and a hooter has sounded as well. And you get the feeling this could be a compelling moment of the game. If Wales can keep Australia out here, they're still in the ball game. If they concede, then could be uphill in the second half for the Welsh girls. We'll see. Good stable scrum for Australia. Wood again using the big players, the pot of three, and he's quick again for Wood. And Australia driving towards the Wales line. Can Wales just hold it up? No, they can't. Another try for Australia. And I think it could well have been Maleka. He could have termed it any one of 8, really. Wales just conceding as the clock went red.
Australia will be really happy with this. Very physical, very up front, taking Wales on through the middle. Disappointing from Wales. You know, they won't be happy with conceding a try this way, especially in these conditions. They know it's going to be a tight game. They've got half time now. They can regroup, get back in the changing rooms, and talk about how they want to come out better, firing, more physical second half.
Well, Catalina Amosa was getting the plaudits, the hooker for the try, but it was could have termed any one of 8, converted by Samantha Wood, and just what Wales didn't want to happen there, conceding a converted try, and it's going to be a tough old second half for Wales. So what will be said in the changing rooms by Sean Lynn?
Just about picking your heads up. You know, it's one half of rugby's done, there's still a second half to go. The girls can still get back into this game. We've shown so many times before, and Wales have shown so many times before they can come back in.
21-5 then Australia lead Wales at half-time. Thanks for joining us, and join us for the second half on the iPlayer. Welcome back to the BBC iPlayer for the second half of the second test between Australia and Wales, with me, Phil Steele, and Wales flanker Alicia Joyce-Butchers. Wales trailing 21-5 at half-time, including a last-minute try in injury time to Catalina Ramosa, the Australian hooker. So, Alicia, what are you looking for Wales in this second half? Are you using the bench or trying to get back on terms?
I think Sean Lim will definitely use the bench early. I think coming into this tournament, well, these two tests now, he's made it very clear he wants to give people opportunities and minutes heading into that first test against Scotland in the World Cup. So, yeah, looking forward to seeing that bench come on. Meg Davis at scrum half, seeing what she can do with her chance, and like we spoke about, Kath Richards as well. So excited to see how the girls respond and retaliate this half. See if we can get a little bit more points on the board.
Katie Powell to get things underway for Wales in the second half. 3 tries to 1. Jazz Joyce, if you have just joined us, Jazz Joyce got Wales's try on her 50th cap. And Australia did come on strong in the second quarter.
Taking that. Hold on.
Wales will want to score next, certainly. Now Metcalf takes it over the halfway line. Abby Fleming with the drive. Bit slow for Wales though, and Keita Bevan has no option really than to kick down the tram lines. It's useful. Lisa Neumann in there harrying the Australian receivers. Prohiva, the loose head under the water tars. When he took up the sport at 19 years of age, the loose head of Tongan heritage. And there's one of the Welsh players who was very positive in the first half, Grensley and Peirce. A reminder that it's quite wet in North Sydney, the North Sydney Oval, a multi-sport facility.
Down by goal.
Wood. Wood once more.
I am, yeah, thanks guys. Interesting
moment.
kind of atmosphere here on the half, because even though the score...
I think Wales have done really well there to try and get that ball back. I would like to see them get rid of it here and see if they can play down that field a little bit more. And there's Kaylee kicking it down, so hopefully they get a good kick chase in.
Metcalf got the trusty left boot on her. Can't find Green though. Here's Caitlin Halse. Lovely follow-up tackle by Kate Williams, the captain. Samantha Wood. Little dink and dare, which Keita Bevan does well to go back and foil. That's the halfway line. Holding on against the scrum half.
Wales will definitely want to try and clear up their attacking breakdown a little bit. As I said last week, we're very, very strong in that area, but they can't be giving away cheap penalties there, putting Australia in a good position to get down the field and get good attacking opportunities.
6-5 at half-time against Wales, the penalty count, so 7-5 now. You got some stats there as well, Alicia. And from the first half stats, it didn't look like a 21 points to 5 game, did it?
No, not at all. A possession, 53% to Wales, 47% to Australia. Territory, 56% to Wales, 44% to Australia. So just looking at those stats, you'd think that Wales were slightly ahead, but unfortunately not in this case. For me, it's the 88% tackle completion rate that Wales will really want to nail down. Being a bit more physical, dropping people early in that tackle and getting a good jackal threats over the ball nice and early.
Yeah, and when they do get in the 22, to nail it with the points for Wales, which is what Australia have done, the 3 tries they've scored. Towards the Wales 22 they go again. Waiari Ellis is on for Maya Stewart, one of the try scorers for Australia. And there goes Aliki Tohiva again. Welsh tackling is decent. Tuka Nakovadra, the number 8 scorer last week. Bridie O'Gorman. Tohiva again. Lots of options for Samantha Wood. All the Aussie forwards keen to get their hands on the ball. Bridie O'Gorman in particular. And Moser, the try scorer just before the interval.
Got that above the shoulder, right? Just check the point.
And this tackling has got to start to sap Wales's legs, you would think. Hals just a metre short. Wood looking for Tuka Nakovadra again, and over goes the number 8, scored last week and scores again this week, and there was an air of inevitability about that one. And Wales will have to be careful now that they're not staring down the barrel.
Yeah, Australia, big number 8, running straight and direct, straight through the Welsh defenders. She's been so elusive all game. She's a real weapon for Australia, and she proves there once again why she gets that the nod in the 8 jersey for Australia today.
Yeah, Tabua Tuakinavadra on her 18th cap, still only 22. One of the Brumbies.
Awesome. I think they're both very low.
Right, they're in that huddle behind the post now. What's Kate Williams saying?
I think Wales need to slow Australia's ball down a little bit, be a bit more physical in that contact area. Look for different ways to slow the ball down, holding the tackler and the attacker up. Just being more physical, more dominant in that contact area and around the park, bringing a bit more line speed to get Australia on the back foot a little bit, I think.
Yeah, there we are. Tuakinavadra going through 2 tackles. Samantha Wood's conversion against the post. So it's damage limitation, you'd feel, for Wales now, but it's a development game. Well, not a development game, but a warm-up game.
Good physical tackle there from Molly Reardon. Just come on and putting herself about a bit, taking her opportunity when she can.
Yeah, still only 21, Molly Reardon. Taken by Lisa Neumann on that far side. And once again, little errors creeping in for Wales.
Knock on the ground. Yeah, number 7. Yeah. Pardon? Yeah, I'm not going to penalise you either, but yeah, I agree.
What difference will Molly Reardon make? Another one through the pathway.
Molly is extremely fit. Her work rate around the park is outstanding, and I think that's what she offers. She's like having another back rower on the field. So I'm really excited to see how Molly takes her chance today. See how she gets on with this first scrum and her first involvement in the game now.
Played rugby league for Wales as well. Product of Ysgol Read the Wine, the school in Aberdare, and came to rugby with the Nelson Bells club in the Rhymney Valley. And when you think Maisie Davis, what's Maisie, only 19, there's 2 useful front rowers to come through.
Yeah. just
Maisie's
wait for my
extremely
call, alright? Just a bit
talented.
early.
I don't like saying too much nice stuff about Maisie because I know she'll be winding me up about it later. But
If you need more space, just
Maisie,
take
she's young, she's fresh, she's exciting, she's pushing senior players for their positions and really keeping people on their toes. And I think she's really come into her own over the last few months and shown what she's about. So bringing Maisie on is definitely going to be a boost to that front five of the Wales pack.
Crouch.
There's some stats.
Binds.
Scrum
Sit.
not looking good on the stats. It's looked into the naked eye. It's the Welsh scrum, what he said is, you'd say, has done okay, but not according to the stats.
Yeah, leave it now, leave it.
Australia possession at will for Samantha Wood. She's got a real armchair ride in the second half so far. Wales just need to get some possession in the first instance. And away comes Desiree Miller on the left wing. Beats three players, still going. She get the pass in to Maleka. Australians keeping the attack going. Samantha Wood. But Desiree Miller there showing her paces.
There was.
A desperate defence for Wales.
Great. Coming up to you, I've got an intentional knockdown here. I need to get the number. And can you please check if there was any cover defence?
And they're looking at the intentional knock-on, I think, possibly from Kaylee Powell.
Thank you.
But Desiree Miller, one of the Waratahs, one of 10 Waratahs in the 23. There she goes.
She does so well here, so elusive on the run, very powerful runner, and always puts Australia on their front foot. It'd be interesting to see here if this knockdown from Kaylee is intentional or not.
So I have got cover defence there, so we're just looking for the number. I think we do the wide angle first.
It's number 1.
Okay, thank you. We get a wide angle.
Who are you
right?
looking for now in the Welsh side for inspiration then?
I think going to our usual big game players like Bethan Lewis, players like Lisa Newman, Kaylee Powell leading from the front in that 10 slot, taking their opportunities and their chances. I thought Gwen Crabb last week was outstanding, bringing that physical edge. So these are the types of players that we really need to see stand up. And also Sean Lynn bringing that bench on early to inject a little bit of, you know, energy back into this Welsh side. So it's hopefully we can really take it by the horns now.
Thank you.
Rachel Horton
Number 1.
is the TMO. And I think it is going to be a deliberate knock-on.
So we've got intentional knockdown. There is cover defence, so it's nothing more. So it's just going to be a yellow card. Number 1.
An insult to injury for Wales as the yellow card is shown for the deliberate knock-on.
Emily. Scrum. Time back on.
And Gwenllian
Intentional
Pearce
knockdown, we're taking the
didn't
scrum.
seem to me to be, she didn't seem to be anywhere near it, Gwenllian Pearce, to me. A blow for Wales, that, because she's been among their best players in the opening 50 minutes.
Say it again. We're just waiting for Lucia to come. Yeah, that's fine.
Anyway, there we are. 10
Time
minutes
is
on
up.
the naughty
We're
chair.
just waiting on the replacement because I've just seen their prop off.
Oh, there it was when Gwenny was tracking back. She put her hand to the ball, slight touch, which means the ball then fumbles onto the floor. Extremely unlucky there for Wales.
Okay. Thank you. Right.
Well, I don't know how you could say that was deliberate in any shape or form. He's pretty unlucky there. Anyway, Wales are down to 14 with a scrum to defend. Allo Pearce is on the bench. That's Gwenllian's younger sister.
Binds.
She'll be able to talk sheepdog trialling now on the bench for 10 minutes. The well-known sheepdog handler, isn't she, in North Wales?
Yeah, both of them are. To be honest with you, they're extremely hard to understand on a good day, so let alone communicating with dogs.
Picked up at the back by Duka Nukavadra again. And over she goes for a second try. Powering her way. A brace for the number 8. And it is now going to be difficult for Wales. in the last half hour.
She's been really standout coming out in the second half, running straight at Kira, straight at Kaylee. Can't really ask any more from your 9-10 there. Good scrum, good set piece from Australia, and they get the rewards for it.
Yeah, she's only 22 as well. Tuanako Vadra. Australia are in a pool with Samoa, the USA and England, so they would expect to get out of that. Wales, of course, Scotland, Canada and Fiji. Samantha Wood to try and improve. Scored, just hooks it to the left. So it remains 31-5 to Australia.
Version unsuccessful. Score ready. 31. Wales.
Extremely low runner, great powerful carrier, extremely hard to stop, especially when you're running straight at, you know, half back. So well done to her.
Yeah, and as a back rower, when you're one down in the scrum, one of your props as well, you're two minds there whether to stay down and try and keep the scrum steady or get up and defend.
Yeah, definitely. It's hard position for a back row to be in there. You want to put all your weight through the scrum and help your props out as much as you can, but also you don't want to give your opposition 8 the big run up like you've just seen there. So it's a tough position for that back row to be in.
Caitlin Hulse kicking down the tram lines, finds a bit of green as well. Nutmegs. Kaylee Powell. But Kaylee Powell does really well there. In fact, yeah, not that far short of a 50-22. Another 20 odd metres would have done it, but recovered well there, Kaylee Powell, the fly half.
That's the middle.
This Australia's thrown. Wales, can they get some territory and possession to just launch a few attacks? But it's all green and gold at the moment. Waves of Wallaroo attack. So plenty of chance for Wales to practice their defensive sets, if nothing else. Bridie O'Gorman. Pohiva. That was the loose head. Possession aplenty for the Wallaroos.
You've trapped her in there. Yeah, out of it, 6, move.
What's this constant tackling doing for the Welsh legs at the moment?
It's really zapping for a team to defend for that long and make that many tackles. Wales's defence last week was very, very good, and I think putting them in these challenging positions will be really, really good for them heading into that World Cup. And as we've said, they've worked really hard over the pre-season on their fitness, on their contact craft, and as you can see there, Samantha Wood still challenging around that A-B defender. Wales clean it up really well there, and Maisie gets on it. So hopefully we can get a launch play now from the scrum, and you know, the front row can put their dominant mark on this scrum, and Kaylee can clear the ball as well as she just did and get us in a really good position.
The chance for Wales possession. It's like Catalina Amosa, the try scorer just before the half-time, the crucial try really. It's coming off. The Wales scrum roller skating rather. Powell finds some green and a useful kick out of defence that.
That's a great clearance kick from Kaylee on a scrum that's going backwards. Good control at the back of the scrum there from Georgia as well, to get that ball away as cleanly as possible. Cecilia Tuipulotu, first game back for a long while, so
yeah, I mean, it does feel like everything's...
Could there be a change there coming soon, maybe, giving Jenny Scobell a chance in that tight dead role?
Not straight against Australia. Allow Person as well now for Wales. As Sean Lynn rings the changes.
Wales challenged that line-out really well. Abby Fleming gets up in the air nice and early and forces that throw not straight. So Wales would be really happy with that set on line-out D.
Wales not without support in the North Sydney Oval. That's the halfway line. A chance now for Wales to launch something in this second half. They had much the better of the opening quarter, Wales. Held Australia to 7-5 for quite a while. That's the scrum again, and they're driven off the ball, but they do get the penalty, Wales. Not driving straight. Right, can Kaylee Powell find a dead-eye kick? This is where you were saying Shaky George might have been, Andy. Of course, she was a late dropout off the bench.
Yeah, Shaky really manages our kicking game really well. She plays in the right areas of the field, doesn't overplay in her own half. A massive boot on her, and I think it's an area Kaylee's definitely grown and worked on in Harlequins over the last season, and you know, that could be a point of difference heading into the World Cup.
And a decent touch finder as well from the aforementioned Powell. Wales take the line out. Molly Reardon, the youngster, in the van. Georgia Evans. And once again, Wales conceding. At the breakdown, holding on.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit harsh. I think Desiree Miller was a part of the tackle then, didn't release Georgia before she went in on the jackal, so you know, I think Australia have probably got the rub of the ref at the moment. Rugby games sway momentum all the time, so hopefully Wales will start to get that sway shortly.
Ashley Masters is on for Australia for the 41st cap, the most capped Wallaroo.
Yeah, as you can see here, for me, she doesn't release there. There's no clear release in that tackle. Australia get a little bit lucky with that.
And up to the halfway line they go, so Wales have to start again.
That's down by goals.
Australia pod of 3 again. Wood switches back. Ileka can't hold it. And you can see the possession stats there. Australia dominant in the second half as Ashley Masters takes it on up. Great experience in Masters. Australia inching into the 22 again. Options either side for Wood. Overloading on the right. Inside to Desiree Miller. Hulse with a cutout pass to Waiaria Ellis on that right wing. Georgia Evans up well for a tackle for Wales.
Right tackle release now.
Bridie O'Gorman. We're certainly not giving up the ghost in the tackle, and they've managed to burgle it as well. Tui Peloto may have looked outside there. Powell kicks downtown. And as far as Waiaria Ellis, who makes it up to the halfway line. Might Wales have been better just keeping that in the hands?
Yeah, potentially, you know, keeping a little bit more possession, seeing what they can do with the ball. You know, Australians' back three have been really, really elusive and great under the high ball, so could have been an option for us to keep that in hand a little bit and see what Wales can do with a little bit of possession.
Maleka goes aerial. A bit of pinball, which Kaylee Powell puts a stop to. Lisa Neumann acting scrum half. Maisie Davis, the youngster from Dunvant, where she started her career. Again, a free ball for Australia. Maleka back in the pocket. Bridie O'Gorman. Wood kicks for position. Metcalf's handy left boot. Clears for Wales. Maleka, what's she spotted? The opposite number, Powell, is back. And we'll end with a line out. Into the final quarter. At the North Sydney Oval, 31-5 Wales trailing, and there's your replacement, as you did say. Good shift though from Tuipulotu on her first start since September.
Yeah, Cecilia is a great player for Wales. Big ball carrier, big physical tackler. Trying to get her back up to match fitness is, you know, essential for Wales, and I think she's got a good 60 minutes under her belt there. It'd be good to see Jenny Scobell come on the field and see how she can put her mark and her print on the game, along with the replacement scrum half, Megan Davis.
Yeah, Jenny Scobell, interesting character, firefighter from Exeter, but came up to Cardiff to play at Llandaff North, ladies, I think.
Yeah, Jenny's great. I think she had a fantastic Six Nations with the absence of Cecilia, and really, you know, put her mark on that tight head shirt. So it'll be interesting to see how she does today.
Halse's kick through was just about defended by Lisa Neumann, who'd done well to get back for Wales, so it'll be a goal line dropout.
You can really see Australia starting to build in confidence here, pinning Wales back, putting ball to boot. They're not afraid to put it through the hands either, so really testing Wales in all areas of the defence. Exactly what Wales need heading into a World Cup.
Well, you did say at the start that it's about performance rather than result. So none of the next 18 minutes is going to be wasted by Wales, whatever the score.
No, 100%. I think it's really important Wales get tested in all areas of their game. I think they had a lot of ball last week to attack with, and we've seen what we could do with that ball. Now it's a good chance for us to see what Wales do under pressure, 31-5, see what their defence, how it really holds out against a quality Australian outfit. So, you know, I'd like to see Wales coming off the line a little bit harder in defence, setting their feet earlier. You know, Wales are really strong in that position. We have really good chop tacklers when we set early and work hard off the ball. So that's what I would like to see in this last 20-odd minutes now from the Welsh defence.
Meg Davis is on at scrum half as well for Wales. Started at Rumney Rugby Club in Cardiff. A 9th cap for her. Did I see Catherine Richards on as well? Caitlin Leaney coming off after a good shift for Australia, the second row. Again, a big Australian drive. Georgia Evans has done remarkably well at the back. The Welsh scrums started a retreat. Caitlin House. And a chance for Wales on the halfway line, if they can move it to the left-hand side. And there goes Caris Cox, almost up to the 22. Lisa Neumann in support. Meg Davis arriving quickly as well. Maisie Davis, try scorer against England in the Six Nations, taking it up. Allow Pearce. Powell's Kick pass is taken by Catherine Richards. Some possession for Wales at last. Good counter driving by Australia though, but Wales will have a penalty advantage.
That's a great set piece exit from Wales there. Great kick from Kaylee, finds some grass, and then forces the Wales chase, force the Australian kick back. Molly Reardon catches and they exploit the edge, so it's a great set piece clearance from Kaylee there.
Zero Miller there, the Australian left wing, and there's the penalty count. 10-6 against Wales. They've at last, for the first time in this half, got some possession in the Australian 22. Molly Reardon in steerage class at the back. Kath Richards as well, loitering with intent. Takes the pass, Richards. Finds Caris Cox as well. Meg Davis. Better from Wales. Another pot of 3.
Wait. Backwards.
And it's gone forward. And just the errors creeping in again for Wales. House's educated right boot.
Backwards.
Doesn't find touch. Nell Metcalf making some useful yards, the fullback. Once again, Alicia, just the Wales error count is starting to tell.
Yeah, they'll be disappointed with that. I think last week, like I said, 98% pass accuracy. I think it'll be down, definitely down this week. For me there, Meg Davis is trying to bring Molly Reardon onto that ball a bit, trying to attack that game line a little bit more. I think Molly needs to run onto that ball a little bit more and put, really make a dent in that Australian defensive line.
Brilliant kick by Caitlin House. 50-22, of course. When you think she's only 18, she's a terrific find for Australia.
She's brilliant for Australia. Putting in kicks like that, pinning us back in the 22, exactly where you want to play rugby.
And we approach Tabua Tukunovadra territory, looking for a hat-trick, the number 8. There she is. And afterwards, so many options. Tomer. Gone forward, and Wales are going to let off.
Great line speed from the captain, Kate Williams there, forcing the error. Really leading from the front and putting Australia under a bit of pressure with the ball. That's what you want to see.
Good test as well, you were saying in the first half, Alicia, that Wales have been working hard on fitness. They've been Merthyr Mawr running the Big Dipper, the sand dune there. And this is a good test of that.
Yeah, it really is. Wales have worked extremely hard over the last few months, not only on their running but their contact craft with Ben Flowers, and he's been essential to the physicality and everything that Wales have brought to the last 2 tests and in training as well. So they've really been put through the paces with their fitness, and you can see dividends in that. I think their fitness has really improved drastically, and whereas in the Six Nations we'd probably drop off in the last quarter, it'd be great to see the girls now get another try on the board before the end of the game and show really what we've been working on over the last few months.
What sort of difference has he made, Ben Flower? What's he like as a character, personality?
He's a great guy. He's like a friendly giant. He puts the girls through their paces, and when we see Ben Flowers come into the building, we know we're going to be put to work hard against each other. Not obviously me, but the girls that are in that World Cup training camp.
That's a better scrum from Wales, and Georgia Evans can at last just leave that ball. For Meg Davis. Here's Halse again with a little flash and dash. Little kick through looking for Desiree Miller. Wales have done well to scramble back and secure it. And get a penalty.
Hands on the ground first.
And just a word about you. It's been mentioned in the media. You're out of the Welsh side at the moment because you're expecting.
Yeah, expecting a little boy in November, so really excited for what's to come, and you know, to welcome a new little baby into our lives, I think is really cool. And not only to do that with obviously Jasmine, but to do it as a female rugby player as well. You know, some really inspiring women in this game, and to be able to be a mum and a rugby player at the same time is truly a dream come true.
And you will be back, though? That's your ambition to come back for Wales?
That's the plan. I miss it so much. I miss the game. I miss the competition, the edge, all that comes with being a professional rugby player, being in and around the camp with the girls and seeing how hard they're working. I miss it all. So I'm excited to become a mum. I'm also excited to be a rugby player again.
Yeah, and on the trips, you'll at least get some sleep.
Yeah, well, I think when the baby comes, it'll be Jazz's turn to, you know, play her role within this this parenthood experience.
I'll say nothing, I'll just describe the scrum. Lane Morgan, scrum half on for Samantha Wood, who'd run the game for Australia. Good Wales scrum that time. And Lane Morgan has to go and dig for the ball. Tia Hines. Wales up quickly in defence. That scrum seemed to come out of nowhere for Wales there. What's going on?
It really did. Front row replacements, a little bit more energy, seeing what you want to see from your replacements in that front row. You know, trying to really get that set piece dominance back to where it should be, and that's credit to that. Those three replacements in that front row, well done to them.
That's Brendan Toyanga-Ramosa. Wallaby International. And there she goes again, Tabua Chukwunovadra. Lane Morgan to Tanya Nadens, the replacement hooker. Eight minutes to go. And Wales in the last 15 minutes have showed commendable resilience, it must be said, in the face of the abundance of possession for the Wallaroos. Another armchair ride for Lane Morgan, just like the one Samantha Wood had. So many options for Australia. Molly Reardon, though, in there, putting in some tackles.
Australia are really getting some good latches in on that ball carrier, are really allowing them to get over that green line and get quick ball.
And Australia inch closer to the Wales line. Looking for the sixth try, the Wallaroos. Must be very energy sapping for Wales.
There's definitely going to be some sore bodies in the morning after this performance. You know, a lot of defensive sets here for Wales.
Halse. A little loop move, unintentional. Morgan. It's supposed to be 11 or 12 phases now for the Wallaroos. And the final drive comes in. One more will do it for Australia. Still Wales tackling is decent. And over they go, Australia. Almost. Couple more drives for them. Lovely cut-out pass, finding Desiree Miller, a bit like the one that led to the Maya Stewart try in the first half. So all the skills on show for the Wallaroos. Still, though, commendable defence by Wales.
Wales really digging deep here. I'd be interested to see how many phases Australia played there, and Wales continue to drive them back. It's really positive to see. I think the bench has made a really, really positive impact on this game.
Anna Dallavelle, that is, late call up to the bench in place of Cheeky George. Caitlin House, the youngest ever Wallaroo, 17 when she made a debut against the USA last year. And can Wales just effect one more defensive set, finish the game on a positive? Once again, the rain you can see bouncing down at the North Sydney Oval. Australia rumble, Wales crumble, and they do get a sixth try.
Wales would be disappointed with that line-out D there. I think Australia get a rumble on, especially to that back corner of that maul, and get a nice, easy walk-in try there.
Lydia Kavoa, I think it was the hooker.
Draw by the one and only Ash Masters.
It's, in fact, it's Ashley Masters who got the final touchdown, the most capped Wallaroo. And disappointment for Wales as we approach the end.
It is disappointing. I think there'll be a lot of tape for Wales to watch back and see how they can improve heading into that Scotland game. But I also think that's really exciting because there's so much we can work on, and so much better that we can get in those little areas and those little bits of the game that could really make a difference to our performance heading into that Scotland game.
Yeah, 22 days from now. Wales holding an open training session. No more games to go, but they're holding an open training session at Cardiff Arms Park on Tuesday, the 12th of August, 2:30 to 4:30. And if you're interested in that, or you want to take some youngsters along, tickets are available on the WRU website for that. But if you take the mini tour as a whole over the two tests, plenty of positives for Wales?
Yeah, definitely. Last week, the physicality, the attack, the different options that Wales had in attack, the kicking game was outstanding. I think probably surprised Australia a little bit, to be honest with you, and our attacking breakdown was phenomenal, but being challenged in different ways this game, I think is exactly what Wales need. You don't want to, easy games heading into a World Cup. You want to be challenged, you want to be pushed and tested in different areas and different parts of your game. Wales have definitely been tested today. Lots of video to watch, lots of reviewing to do. And I think it'll put Wales in a good position heading into Scotland.
Not straight against Molly Reardon. One who stood out for me is Georgia Evans at the back of the scrum, done sterling work in a, must be said, a retreating Welsh scrum for the most part.
Yeah, I agree. Georgia's always great in that position, and losing Alex early is a big, big blow for Wales. Georgia's come on and really taken it by the horns and shown what she can do in that role as well. So credit to her. Hopefully nothing too serious with that, and we can get her back up and running as soon as possible. Georgia's been great.
Well, that's Alex Callender who went off early in the first half. Georgia Evans, great pedigree, cousin of former Wales Grand Slam winning fly half Kerry Sweeney. Once more Australia drive up towards the Wales 22 into the final minute at the North Sydney Oval. Burrowing like a homesick mole there with Lane Morgan trying to get that ball out. That's a bit quicker for her. Morgan again with a lovely wristy pass from the base. Ashley Masters taking it on. There's the hooter. How can Wales just hold out this final Wallaroos attack? We're going to go back for the penalty.
In line with me, where that like red tape is on the ground, basically. Right. Okay. Good. Tackle, not roll.
Well, not yet. Wales not rolling away. Penalty.
Hello, Purse.
If it goes dead, or if you kick it, then yes. If it doesn't go dead, if you miss it, then it's still play on.
I'm not sure what they're chatting about here, the Wallaroos. Surely they'll go down the line. Yes, they are. Caitlin House.
Wales done really well to hold Australia out during this last 5-6 minutes of continuous attack from Australia. Let's hope now that they can continue that and finish the game as it is.
Tanya Naden's with the throw. Tuanaka Vardra will be looking for a hat-trick here. Over they go. Try awarded. Well, Pum only one of 12 with that. They were all in there, the backs as well. A little bit of afters, a little bit of bifters, but I think it's Tanya Naden's, the hooker, who probably got the final touchdown.
That was a great tight maul from Australia. And I think Wales just body heights probably needs to be a little bit lower, a little bit more aggressive, you know, set earlier. And Australia get a strong maul try there.
I think Tanya Naden's might just have had that burgled off her just before the touchdown. Could well be Ashley Masters, a second for her. Yes, it is. But as I say, you could have given it to any one of the 12. So Australia get up to 40. The referee's whistle goes. And the end of the match, a comprehensive defeat for Wales by 48 points to 5. Give us the positives first before we talk about the rooms for improvement.
I think the positives for Wales is how they've continued to move the ball and haven't been afraid and gone back to the tight rugby that we're used to playing. The backs have got their hands on the ball a lot more. We've seen a great kicking game from both Lakey and Kaylee. Players are challenging each other, pushing each other for that starting shirt, but also that spot in that 32 World Cup squad. So Sean Lynn's going to have some headaches, but that's exactly what you want as a head coach. And I personally am really excited to see that 32-man squad named shortly. So well done to Wales.
Give us 3 work-on specifically, though, that you know, Sean Lynn will be saying, right, we need to do that.
I think one would be, going off today, would be set piece accuracy. We need a better set piece to provide the backs ball to play off and our launch plays, both scrum and line out. I thought last week our attacking breakdown was really good. This week not so much. But for me, that's a massive area of the game. We've got some great jackal threats and we want them over the ball as quickly and often as possible. And I leave the third one to you because I can't really think.
I'd say the penalty count was sort of hampered Wales a little bit, but it's all got 22 days to be put right. Wales against Scotland at Salford in Manchester on the 23rd of August. So good luck to the Welsh girls from that. Thanks for joining us on the BBC iPlayer, and thanks as well to Wales back rower Alicia Joyce Butchers, who's celebrating her partner's Jazz Joyce's 50th cap and a try on her 50th cap. We shouldn't forget that as well. So thanks for listening, and good luck to Wales come the World Cup.
All right, thank you. Thank you. So it's going to be no try. We've got obstruction. Maybe a penalty to Wales on 5 metre. Right. We have a ball.
Full time here at North welcome by our Maroons. 36-5. Make sure you hang around for a bit. For a little celebration plan. We'll send the girls off to the World Cup. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back very shortly.